Thank you, I think. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's the wonderful thing about having classmates is when they know that I might falter, they're here to get my back. Thank you.
Don't make me cry.
Everyone's probably heard the expression, be careful what you wish for. What happened about 8 months ago, I was talking to some friends who were talking about how good life was. And I said, you know, I just wish I could spend a little more time with my kids who live 2,000 miles away, adult children, and my 2 grandchildren. Well, a couple months after that, I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. I went to visit my kids, and I told them that it was inoperable, it wasn't curable, it had metastasized to the liver, and if chemo didn't work, which was the only recourse because it wasn't operable and radiation wasn't an option, that I probably had 8 to 12 weeks. So my 2 adult daughters came and spent the summer with me. And I also lost about 30 pounds. So both of those wishes came true. Spent more time with my kids, and I lost a bit of weight. The price wasn't what I was expecting. But at the Rotary International Convention in Korea, a couple of that have become very important people in my life. I confided in Dean Roars, who is one of the first people to know outside of my family and business associates, and told her that I had cancer and that and she's a nurse, and she understood the prognosis in any event. But I said, I know that the zone conference is 4 months away, but I'd like to have the opportunity to speak at it. And she said, absolutely. Whatever Rotary can do, you let us know. And Rotary will be the wind beneath my wings. And has that ever been true? I also told my district governor at the time, Greg Lurie, and his wife Jan, and I told them because if I wasn't able to finish my term as vice governor, he was going to have to. And Greg and Jan both said, whatever we can do, we'll be there to help you. And I got that same support from my district governor-elect, my district governor nominee, my 12 AGs, and basically everybody in Rotary. So to give you an idea of how grim this diagnosis was, and I mentioned 8 to 12 weeks, they said even if the chemo works, the median life expectancy is less than 6 months. 50% of the people will die in 6 months. The other 50% might get 8 to 12 months. But less than 2% of the people will make it a year. Now I've been traveling doing my VIP club visits, and at the end of all of my visits, remember I was diagnosed in April, my district convention is April 28th. And the last thing I say to all of the people in my district is, if you come to my district conference, I'll be there. And it's what keeps me going, along with this people that I have here at my back. I have been absolutely overwhelmed when the word got out about my cancer. These people behind me, I got cards, letters, offers of support. I had never thought about it. I knew we had a great class, and we connected, but this was unbelievably humbling. And, well, if I wasn't a Rotarian, I probably wouldn't be here today. It was the support that I got from these people that sort of kept things positive. I mentioned to my classmates in the pre-Zone Institute meetings, one of the luncheons, that at my governor induction, the president had arranged for the lights to be turned out at the beginning of the meeting, and as it turned out, he didn't turn them out. The power was off in the convention. We were in the ballroom, and we had to go through the whole meeting in the dark, and at the end of it, he said, we're going to have a prayer circle for Vern after the meeting. And for those who would like to join in, to come to the back of the room and put their hand on my shoulder or back. And there was about 100 people that came back. And Rick Potter, who was the president of the club, started the prayer circle by asking people to come up and say a few words. And there was about a half a dozen people who spoke just for a couple minutes. The whole service was 15. And then Rick came up to wrap everything up, and he said, God, you have told us that if 2 or more of us get together with the same prayer, that you will hear our message. And the lights came on. It was one of the most surreal things in my life. I took my breath away. There was a few people going, and other people totally quiet. And Rick leaned down to me, who's a minister of the United Church. He said, Vern, I think your cancer's gone. Well, as it turns out, it wasn't gone, but the chemo is working. And the chemo, only in 30 to 40% of the people with this strongest chemo that they could find is it successful. And fortunately, I was one of the 40% of the people that it worked on. And I'm planning to be at my district conference in April, and you are all invited, because I wouldn't be there without the support I've had from Rotary. And I truly believe that. Without Rotary and the people that have told me that they've put me on prayer circles and on prayer lists, every religion you can think of, I've had messages from all over the world. It's incredibly humbling to know that thousands of people are praying for you. And it's even better when it's working. Thank you very much.